It's that time of year again. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to join you once again at the Salt Dome to discuss our plans to keep streets clear and safe during the upcoming winter season. I'm joined today by City Manager Cheryl Long, Director of Public Services Mark Riley, Traffic and Road Operations Superintendent Jared Bolden, to discuss the new investments, and Assistant City Manager Kathy Bailey to discuss the new investments and strategies our city will be implementing this year. Basic services are the core responsibility we have to residents. Cincinnatians expect from their local government, rightfully so, to make sure that their trash is picked up, their communities are safe, and particularly in the winter, that their streets are plowed. We all experienced the significant challenges our city dealt with last year in the face of historic snow accumulation. I'm incredibly proud of our hardworking drivers and public service employees, and we as city leaders, from our administration to our council, have worked to ensure that the resources are there to be better prepared, to make sure they have the equipment and the tools to do their jobs effectively and also safely. Through the hard work of our administration and the investments of our council, we are prepared with the staff, the resources, and the planning in place to respond to the weather challenges that will come. That includes an investment in a new, improved, real-time snowplow tracker for the public. This has been a legitimate issue in the past, but live for this year, residents will have access to a clear and accurate tracker during winter events. That not just documents where trucks have been, but the exact treatments that each truck has done to our streets. And just as importantly, our city has digitized all routes and taken paper entirely out of the equation. Every truck now is outfitted with a tablet that ensures our drivers not only have the clearest routes possible, but also that we can track and measure our results in real time, including snow accumulation. To our residents, I want to ask you for your continued support and patience during the winter season as our hardworking city crews treat and clear thousands of miles of road. Our public service crews are out on our streets day and night during these events. For what I and our city are so incredibly grateful for what they do, for what our fleet crews do to get our vehicles ready, and for what every employee does to be prepared and to respond to the most serious weather events that we will see in the coming months. Thank you, and with that, I'll now welcome City Manager Cheryl Long.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to echo what the Mayor has said about our Department of Public Service. These men and women are the best, and I'm so thankful for the work that DPS does day in and day out. They are the everyday department, the ones that our residents see out on the streets, and the ones taking care of the most basic problems. When winter weather hits, they work around the clock to take care of the roads. In my opinion, they are the ultimate public servants, and they deserve every shout out. Right now, the team at DPS is training for winter storm response. They are learning the new technology we are bringing to the snowplows. They are talking to peer cities to share best practices, and they are getting the skills necessary to take care of 3,000 lane miles when snow starts falling. This is an extraordinary effort, and the knowledge they are gaining is significant. I just want to give kudos to everyone at DPS who's up for the challenge. And I want to thank Assistant City Manager Kathy Bailey for providing oversight and encouragement during this process, and our new Director of Public Service, Mark Riley, who came into the job very aware of the challenges we had last winter. He's been such a great partner to me as City Manager since joining the city in June, and I have full confidence in him as winter approaches. Let's talk about some of the changes we've made since last winter, because these updates are real game changers. To double down what the Mayor said, technology is the headline here. We have new technology in each truck and snowplow that will display plow routes and track drivers' locations in real time. As they move through the city, drivers will use the tablet to update street statuses, whether it's being pre-treated, salted, or plowed. They can also report road conditions and obstacles like construction or parked vehicles, which will help keep other drivers safe and help us collect data about what's happening on the streets. All of this is automatically transmitted to the DPS Dispatch Center so they can monitor progress and update route assignments. And this same data is going to feed the new and improved snowplow tracker. Previously, the tracker used GPS data to simply display where trucks have been. But now, you'll be able to see trucks essentially in real time, as well as click on individual streets to get a status on whether it's been pre-treated, sodded, or plowed. Everything is now more informative, more real time, and more transparent. That was my goal when I sat down with the Office of Performance and Data Analytics last winter to discuss what changes were on the table. I knew we needed to improve the data we were relying on because that's the only way we can effectively tackle the snowplow routes. But more importantly, we needed to make changes to how the data was getting shared to the public. There was too much confusion about which streets had been plowed, too much uncertainty about where and when to inspect plows, and too many obstacles to try and get that information. I'm very pleased with the work OPDA has done to improve this process, and very proud to have made investments in the Department of Public Service for technology upgrades. Every year we remind folks that our DPS team is working hard, and this year we can share that they are also working smart. As always, as we look ahead this winter, please remember that when we get ice and snow, you need to slow down on the roads. Give yourself more time and put a lot of space between you and everyone else on the road. If you see our snow plows, make sure to leave room for them to do their jobs. If you need to notify the city of something or create customer service requests, call 311 or use 311 Cincy website or mobile app. Every year we get more and more 311 tickets, which is a good thing. We want residents to tell us everything they're seeing because we can't address problems if we don't know they're there. Finally, to wrap up, I have a lot of thank yous to do. Thank you again to Director Mark Riley, who I'll invite up in just a minute, as well as our Traffic Road Operations Superintendent Jared Bowden and Fleet Service Manager Liam Norton. Thank you OPDA under the leadership of Eric Jamison, and again, thank you Mayor and Council for sharing my vision and directing funding to DPS during the most recent budget and understanding the importance of making these necessary upgrades. And thank you to Assistant City Manager Kathy Bailey, who has been such an amazing partner to me in managing DPS, our utilities, and other departments at the forefront of what residents see, feel, and touch on a daily basis. Now, I would like to introduce DPS Director Mark Riley for his first time at the mic. Absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Manager. And thank you, ACM. And thank you, Superintendent Bowden. Based on lessons learned, DPS has addressed many of the action items from last year. We are more innovative by implementing weather stations around the city. These weather stations will provide us the opportunity to see the depth of the snow, be able to monitor the road temperatures, but most importantly, it'll provide us opportunity to have a visual of the roads, so that way we can monitor the road conditions in certain areas across the city. We also have added a de-icing product called BD. It's the same product that ODOT uses. So if you notice during the winter when ODOT, their roads are running water, we have implemented that into our system. So with that said, we have proactively prepared DPS to provide the expected services to address all the weather conditions throughout the city. That's all.
Sorry, so you mentioned weather stations.
Yes.
What does that look like? Is there cameras and sensors and a person?
There are cameras with sensors. They'll be mounted on the poles. There's going to be about 10 of them around the city. It's going to be a pilot. We think it's going to be successful because there's other cities around the state of Ohio that are using this. So it works off of solar.
Mr. Riley, what do you think the difference is between you and your predecessor? Think the changes will be?
I don't know my predecessor, so I can't speak on that.
If you come into the office, though, you've looked at the way they ran things, how is it different? How are you running it different?
Well,
How are you running it different?
I'm taking a proactive approach of looking forward as a department, so we can't do anything about what happened last year, but with a proactive approach of this is where we're going and this is how we will approach winter operations.
There was supposed to be a report. Is that report going
Let me answer your first question, and then I'll ask the city manager to address your second question. Look, last year was not good enough, and both the administration, the council, and I agree on that. And we have made significant investments in order to make sure that we improve our services to the extent we get another historic snowfall. We'll be ready. We'll be ready based on the new investments in technology, doing away with paper entirely, being fed real-time information based on the weather centers that we're putting up, but also based on information that the drivers are seeing on the road conditions. All of that communication will be done via the tablet in each of the drivers' cars. We're also improving our training and making sure that when we need employees from other departments in the city, that those employees are trained on the most effective way to plow the snow. We've also tried to supplement our fleet by taking other city vehicles and fitting them with plows. So again, to the extent, and we've also done a lot of pre-work on our fleet to make sure that they can withstand inclement weather. So those are all a list of changes that we've made from the past, understanding that it wasn't good enough and we need to be more effective and more transparent and more communicative about where plows are, what streets have been treated, and what the public can expect moving forward. City Manager Long, do you want to repeat your second question?
Well, yeah, I think that's what he was asking, answering. The report, I think I wanted to ask about the report. It was supposed to be a report. We're still going to get that report. Has that changed? What's going to happen with that?
Absolutely. We will, there is actually going to be, we've been working very closely with council to understand what their priorities are. We have a full-fledged rollout to make sure that they have the opportunity to go into trucks to see how their technology works, and then we will also be responding to the report sometime this winter.
Is there a certain threshold where the city just can't handle, or any city can't handle? Is there a certain threshold that you can meet that much?
Yeah, I'll let Jared answer the specifics, but we wait until the snow event has concluded in order to make sure that both it's safe for our drivers, but also that we're not that when we plow, it is as effective as possible. So plowing while the snow event is still happening is counterproductive. But I'll let the director talk about any specific thresholds.
Good morning. As it relates to a threshold, there is no threshold because when you hear a lot of people speak about our drivers and give them a lot of praises, one of the reasons why is because of that fact that there is no threshold. So no matter how difficult the snow is, no matter how difficult the condition is, we don't have the ability not to be able to perform. So our drivers will be out there and performing regardless of what comes. So there's no threshold.
But it's important to wait for the snow to stop.
No, we actually have the ability to pre-treat. We actually start our operation prior to snow falling in a lot of occasions. But we have to take each event as its own. If there's rain before the snow, if there's snow when it first starts, so every event is different. So we have to strategically plan per event.
Hold on, but I think it's also important that residents remember to be patient, because even the more snow that we have, the more that the trucks have to go over in passes to get it to a level. And so while they are fighting very hard to make sure when the more snow that comes down that they are being consistent and showing up, we have to be patient and know that your roads will be just making sure that you give them grace while they're doing their jobs.
Yes, as of today, we have 80. Jerry.
So I think what you heard was a commitment from everybody, the mayor, the city manager. So when we want to compare last year to this year, I think the difference is this year is we're looking at the city as a whole. So there's a commitment to use other city agencies. So obviously there's going to be more resources depending on the event. So we got to wait to see. Like I said, every snow is different, but there is a commitment that you've heard up here this morning that we're going to use all of our resources in order to tackle the events.
A couple of things that were identified last year with personnel and trucks, maintenance, that sort of thing. I think the mayor touched on that. If anyone gives more specifics about personnel and truck maintenance to make sure that's working properly.
Absolutely. I think there's two things. The commitment to training, we are making sure that all of our mechanics are up to date to be able to get do their best to make sure that once the plows break down, that they are getting back on the road as quick as possible. Secondly, as we mentioned, it's all hands on deck. Every department knows, whether you're in water, MSD, other utilities, that if you have a CDL, then we can pull you to be able to tackle the roads. And everybody's on the same page as that. We've been working with the unions to get an MOU and everything so that the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. That if it is an all hands on deck event, that expectation for everybody to be on the road, it is mandatory for that.
With Ohio becoming an AI hub, you mean leveraging that technology, plus even more weather mitigation strategy?
Yeah, we're always looking for new technologies in order to make not just DPS, but all of our departments more efficient and more effective. As we've talked about here, we're rolling out technology in order to improve our snow removal. I know Waterworks uses machine learning already, and as products continue to roll out that incorporate AI, we will continue to be using them.
The two trucks that council funded with carryover last year, I think they're probably not here yet, but will those be part of the winter operation this year?
Six trucks should be here in a year and a half.
From now?
Yes.
These last January comparison, some folks waited 4, 5, 6, 7 days for their residential roads to be cleared. Can you make any kind of prediction as far as with this new technology, how much quicker that would have been if you used that 5, 6 day comparison?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we've kind of changed the way we've done our routing. We have our primaries, then we have our collectors, and then we have our residentials. So once we hit the primaries, which are our major streets, once those have been sorted on a couple of rounds, then we go into our collectors, depending on the snowfall, when we hit the residentials, depending on how many inches. But we do have a plan, and with our new mapping that we need, we will be able to address our residentials. Right now, we currently are going through our routing process to identify every road to make sure that we do not miss a road this year. So our goal is to make sure that we get our primaries, our collectors, and our residentials.
What would your message be directly to residents to say, hey, look, if we had what we had last January, what would your message be?
Be patient.
But that was the message last year.
Yeah, I'll take this. Yeah, my message to them is our goal is to, once a snow event is over, our goal is to have the streets cleared in 48 hours. With these new technologies, this new training, this new investment in not just our fleet, but also our public services garage, our expectation is that we meet that goal.
How soon will the mapping be available to the public for use?
Is Eric here? I don't have information at this time, but we will provide it as soon as possible.
City manager, did you ask the former director to retire because of the problems that were happening last year?
I did not. Jared Wilkerson is a dedicated public servant with more than 30 years' experience with the city. This spring, he approached me about his retirement, and I'm so grateful that he stayed on until we were able to hire Director Riley. So Jerry helped with the transition and has been nothing but a great partner during his tenure.
Last question?
Similar cities have systems like this in place, Cleveland specifically comes to mind. And now we have some hiccups with the rollout, so how can you ensure an efficient rollout when it comes to these new systems? Does that include training and compliance?
That's exactly right. So it is front-loaded with training for both our CDL drivers who, in the event of an emergency, we expect to jump into the trucks and be able to plow effectively, but it also includes training on the actual technology. Whenever you roll out new technology, there may be some hiccups, but we will stay vigilant and on top of it to ensure that it's rolled out in the most effective way. Thanks, everyone.